Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Thursday, February the 11th, 2021, and I wanted to get back with you and let you know what happened in the trial, Meghan Markle versus the Mail on Sunday. Well, let me just tell you up front, Meghan wins the privacy case, but the copyright issue or case will go to trial next month with Meghan in the hot seat. Thank you for your support and being a part of this community. I love reading all your comments, and thank you for supporting my channel. I appreciate it very much. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Disclaimer, full disclaimer is located under the description, and this video is for entertainment only and just my opinions. Just because it's almost Valentine's, and I'm hoping each of you will have a wonderful Valentine's Day and be able to celebrate it with someone who is very special to you and that you love. Happy Valentine's Day a couple of days early. And I know you don't get to see the people behind some of the videos, so I'll just show you a quick picture. That's my lovely husband. We've been married for 26 years, and we have 4 wonderful kids who are very sweet and very good children, and that we love them very much. So that's just a little glimpse at me, and I'm probably going to be doing some showing my face a little later on this year. So let's go ahead and get started with, and there's a few other cases that I may cover. BuzzFeed News. Meghan Markle wins a privacy lawsuit against the UK tabloid that published a letter that she sent to her father. And Meghan says, I share this victory with each of you because we all deserve justice and truth, and we all deserve better, Meghan said in a statement. This is by Ellie Hall. Now, don't forget, she's only won one part of it. No money or anything has been spoken about, and the next part, copyright, will go to trial in the beginning of March. Meghan Markle, a.k.a. the Duchess of Sussex, has won a privacy lawsuit against the publishers of the Mail on Sunday for printing excerpts of a handwritten letter she sent to her estranged father. In a decision published today, Lord Justice Warby ruled that Associated Newspapers Limited, the parent company of the Mail on Sunday and the Daily Mail, clearly violated Meghan's privacy by printing the letter, calling the disclosures manifestly excessive and hence unlawful. There is no prospect that a different judgment would be reached after a trial, he said. So he issued that summary judgment. And remember, she had filed with the court a reason that she couldn't be there in January to testify. And then she went back and asked for a summary judgment based on what they had. Now, the one thing about this, and we know this is about the letter that she wrote to Mr. Markle, her father, but we were hoping to be able to see the 5 friends that were going to come into court, and thinking Omid and maybe your mom and Jessica or someone else would be involved. We were hoping to hear that part of it. And unfortunately, because the privacy portion was done with the summary judgment, we won't get to hear that. But don't lose hope in the copyright issue and trying to determine who actually holds the copyright to the letter. We are going to hear some testimony, and Meghan should have to take the hot seat, and she should be questioned on some of the discrepancies, and I still think that there's some things that we'll be able to learn. So it says, in a lawsuit filed October the 1st, 2019, Meghan sued Associated Newspapers for the misuse and private information and infringement of copyright and breach of data. The Protection Act of 2018, after extracts from a private letter she composed and sent to her father, Thomas Markle, were published in a series of stories in the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online, February 2019. In a statement, Meghan said that she was grateful to the courts for holding Associated Newspapers and the Mail on Sunday to account for the illegal and dehumanizing practices after 2 long years of pursuing litigation. These tactics and those of their sister publications, Mail Online and the Daily Mail, are not new. In fact, they've both been going on far too long without consequence. For these outlets, it's a game, she says. For me and so many others, it is real life. Now, this is Meghan's statement. Real relationships and very real sadness. The damage they have done and continue to do runs deep, she said. The world needs reliable, checked, high-quality news. With what the Mail on Sunday and its partner publications do is opposite. We all lose when misinformation sells more than truth, when moral exploitation sells more than decency, and when companies create business model to profit from people's pain. But for today, with this comprehensive win on both privacy and copyright, which it's not on both, and I don't know if she's misunderstanding and thinking that she's won both, but right now she's only won on the privacy issue, it says. But she said, win on both privacy and copyright, we have all won. We now know and hope it creates legal precedent that you cannot take somebody's privacy and exploit it in a privacy case, as the defendant has blatantly done over the past 2 years. I share this victory with each of you because we all deserve justice and truth, and we all deserve better. BuzzFeed News has reached out to a spokesperson for the Mail on Sunday for comment. Now, let's go to the Daily Mail. Meghan Markle wins the privacy case against the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online over the letter to her father without a trial. Now, again, summary judgment. Publisher considers appeal. So the Mail on Sunday may go back and request an appeal so that she would have to go and testify, and they would be able to prove some of the allegations and false truths that she made to the court. But we'll see. The Duchess of Sussex has won her claim that her privacy was breached on the publication of a letter to her father, Thomas. The High Court ruled today. Meghan, 39, is suing Associated Newspapers Limited, publishers of the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online, for misuse of the private information and infringement of copyright for publishing extracts of the letter she sent to her father, Thomas Markle, after her royal wedding in 2018. Following today's ruling, the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online said they would be considering an appeal. A spokesperson said, "We're very surprised by today's summary judgment and disappointed at being denied the chance to have all the evidence heard and tested in open court at a full trial. We are carefully considering the judgment's contents and will decide in due course whether to lodge an appeal." Mr. Justice Warby ruled the issue over ownership of copyright of the letter she wrote to Miss Markle can be decided at trial. So they will go to trial in a few weeks. In his ruling, he said that Meghan has a reasonable expectation of privacy and that it was fanciful to think otherwise. The High Court's decision to grant the summary judgment means that Meghan will now have to go into the witness box to give evidence in her privacy case, thereby avoiding a face-off against her estranged father, because that was in the privacy issue part, who was also expected to take to the stand on behalf of the publisher, so she won't have to face her father now. Referring to the letter, Mr. Justice Warby said in his judgment it was, in short, a personal and private letter. The majority of what was published was about the claimant's own behavior, her feelings of anguish about her father's behavior, and as she saw it, and as the resulting rift between them. Excuse me. These are inherently private and personal matters. The judge added the claimant had a reasonable expectation that the contents of the letter would remain private. Now, we know one of the justices kind of give Harry a scolding or talking down to in the case that he filed about the article that was written by the Daily Mail about him no longer being in contact with the Royal Marines. But he didn't win anything but like $2,500, and he said he was donating that to Invictus. But I think his legal fees mounted to like 30-something thousand pounds. But he did give him a dressing down because of the language that he used in his statement, and and it just came off as very arrogant and as if he's in charge. All right, so it goes back and he said the only tenable, this is Justice Warby, justification for any interference would be to correct some inadequacies about the letter contained in the People article. But Justice Warby added, on an objective review of the articles in the light of the surrounding circumstances, the inescapable conclusion is the disclosures were made were made were not a necessary or proportionate means of serving that purpose. For the most part, they did not serve the purpose at all. Taken as a whole, the disclosures were manifestly excessive and hence unlawful. There is no prospect that a different judgment would be reached after the trial. The interference with freedom of expression with those conclusions represent is a necessary and proportionate means of pursuing the legitimate aim of protecting the claimant's privacy. The case is due to return to court on March the 2nd. So we'll hear the ownership of in the case on March the 2nd, who has copyright, to decide the next steps, including assessment of damages and any outstanding issues that must be decided at trial at any cost. Warby says, sections of the 1,250-word letter that Meghan wrote to her father were published in the newspaper and online in a series of articles in February 2019. During a 2-day hearing last month on the summary judgment, Meghan's lawyers argued before Mr. Justice Warby that it should be granted on the grounds that the publisher's case had no real prospect of success. The High Court's decision to grant it almost means one of the authors of Finding Freedom, a royal biography of Meghan's life and marriage to the Duke of Sussex, will not give evidence either. So we're talking about Omid Scobie. The newspaper had claimed Meghan cooperated with Omid Scobie and co-author Carolyn Duran and or authorized her friends to speak to them on her behalf. We wanted to be able to hear this in trial, so I don't guess that's going to be able to come out. It also maintains that she gave them permission to share details of the letter with the authors. Meghan has denied the allegations, as has Mr. Scobie, whose lawyers for the newspaper wanted to question from the witness box had there been a full trial. However, she had admitted that she had given permission to one friend to share details of the letter with the authors to prevent any further misrepresentation. So she's saying she didn't talk to them directly, but we feel that she actually wrote portions of the book, whether she sent them directly or whether she had Sarah Latham or anyone else on her staff send them over. 5 close friends of Meghan's who gave interviews to People magazine in a February 2019 article, which also contained details of the letter, will also now not have to be given evidence. They were expected to travel from the U.S. to be quizzed under oath on how the article came about. I hope eventually that we'll have the answers to this. Meghan's lawyers argued during her last month's hearing that the letter was intrinsically private, personal, and sensitive, and that was never intended to be made public. Justice Rushbrook, QC, for the Duchess, said that the publication or of extracts from the letter was a triple-barreled assault on her private life, her family life, and her correspondence. He said the letter had outlined the Duchess's constant love for her father, Thomas Markle, 76, and her fears for his health. Well, we didn't see that portion, did we? And we think that there might have been portions that were given to her friends of a letter that were never given to the father, because he stated that, he didn't get parts of that letter. He described the letter as a heartfelt plea from an anguished daughter to her father, and that she had no intention of making it public. Mr. Rushbrook added, "It is as good as an example as one could find of a letter that any person of ordinary sensibilities would not want to be disclosed to third parties, let alone in a mass media publication in a sensational context and to serve the commercial purposes of the newspaper." Lawyers for the publisher argued that a full trial was needed so that there could be a factual investigation of the claims being made by Meghan and the role her friends or other associates played in the details of the letter being made public. The publisher argued at the hearing that Meghan wrote the letter to her father as part of the media strategy, as part of her attempts to defend her against charges of being an uncaring or an unloving daughter. They also argued that a full trial was needed so that Meghan could be questioned about inconsistencies in her case, because we know that she changed her affidavits a few different times and then finally admitted to using a third party to send information or correct inconsistencies in the hagiography, Finding Freedom. So I'm sure Meghan's feeling like she's kind of victorious, but I hope she understands that she's only won one part and no money yet, and she's paid out a lot of legal fees. And now, since she's won the privacy part, we'll hear the copyright part. So I don't know how this is going to fare with the upcoming March sit down with the Queen or Zoom meeting or Harry sit down with them. And I'm not sure that their official titles will be taken, but hopefully at least his military titles and the patronage that they are head of will be removed. These are just some of the crazy faces of Meghan. So we know that there's so many sides to her, and she's a complex woman, and believe that we see a lot of narcissistic tendencies, just in my opinion, in her, and we don't know the true state of her relationship with Harry. So please let me know, what do you think? Who do you think owns the copyright to the letter in the next hearing on March 2nd? Meghan, the palace, or those who helped her write the letter, the father? Let me know in the comments, please. Don't forget, all comments are posted on a slight delay. Keep the trolls away. So I hope everybody's having a good day, and I want to thank you for watching. Let me know if you like it. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I'm sure I'll be back in the next couple of days with something else. I do have a few other stories I've worked on. I've just been doing a lot of research and don't have those complete at this time, but I'll be back with those soon. Thanks, guys.